Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans, because we believe we're the most qualified people to talk about our favorite teams. I'm your co-host, Isaac.
And I'm 40.
And welcome to episode 114, where, as you may have noticed, we have a very special guest today. You may recognize him as the guy who always is leaving comments on all of our episodes. He also happens to be a good friend of mine from college and a big fan of basketball, which is why he's here to talk today. Everybody, please give a big warm welcome to Yoni. Welcome to the show, Yoni.
Nice to be here. Hey.
All right. We got a pretty fun episode today, you guys. A little bit of housekeeping first, just to get things started. Real quick. Very special happy second birthday to Calvin's daughter, Milani, who turned 2 on Tuesday. So happy late birthday to Milani. And also...
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, actually, that was the only thing of housekeeping I needed to do. In the meantime, just a quick warning, the Yankees are playing right now, so I do have the game up in the background. So I'm going to try and contain myself, especially after what happened last night. We're just going to jump in because we got an exciting episode full of stuff to talk about today. And we're going to start off with our usual segment, What's on Your Mind? I'm going to actually let our guest go first here. No pressure, Yoni, but what's on your mind in the sports world? Give it to us.
Yeah. I am not a huge fan of this J.J. Redick becoming the head coach of the Lakers. I'm really not a fan. He did this podcast with LeBron to mind the game. I watched a few episodes. And I feel like the way LeBron did that throughout the season, it really kind of undermined Darvin Ham as a coach, because he's basically like talking through all that. And also JJ's good as an analyst. He clearly is bright. He likes to break things down. But he's also very clearly, publicly LeBron's guy. I don't know how that works in the locker room. I don't know how it works Like, how are people going to feel talking to JJ, especially with the Mind the Game podcast going on? Like, if you're saying, can you say stuff and then it becomes public, it's a shit show. But the Lakers kind of are an organization that seems to be value entertainment and being interesting and being not a high budget operation focused on championships first like they've been historically.
So I'm going to interject because I know we have a Lakers fan here. Calvin, you want to respond to that?
I mean, if you want me to be honest, I'm actually going to agree with him. I think LeBron's – I think LeBron is setting himself up for a coaching job. I've been telling people all summer, this is LeBron's last year. He hasn't said it yet, but as a 22-year LeBron fan now, we're going into year 22. I can feel that it's just different. It's the way he's going into the season, like the way he handles himself outside of basketball now. It's just different. This is LeBron's last year, whether people like to say it or not, and I think he's setting himself up for a coaching job. So I'm going to agree with Yoni on that. They're on a shit show, and they're not even really worried about basketball and winning championships there at this moment in time.
No, he wants a puncher's chance, but it's no longer the main thing. And particularly the Pistons fired Monty Williams, and that might have been good. It's not bad for a retread hire if you wanted to get someone, but to me, it's a circus sideshow. The 3 of the past 4 years, they're like in the play-in to even make the playoffs.
Yeah, they barely were making it in.
No one's calling for Rob Pelinka's job or anything like that. But I do think Pelinka should be under a little more scrutiny.
I'll agree with that. My roommate just came in and threw mail at me. That's fun. Calvin,
no coach since Phil Jackson has lasted more than 3 years with the Lakers.
Hold on a second. While I'm looking this up to fact check that, Calvin, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind is now that basketball season's over, we're getting one step closer to the greatest show on turf, NFL season.
Oh boy.
And why that's on my mind is because there's been a lot of buzz over there at Washington headquarters. And, I don't want to get too excited yet. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. But, word on the street is the only incompletions the guy throws is ones that are drop passes. Nothing is overthrown. Nothing's underthrown. There's not bad balls that lead to interceptions. All the drop passes, all the incompletions are drop passes, and all the interceptions so far have been drop passes and tip balls off of drop passes. There's a lot of talk that we got the best player in the draft this year, and like I said, I don't want to get too excited yet, but we're gonna see what Washington has in store for us this season. That's what's on my mind, brother. I'm excited as a football fan, as a Commander fan. I'm excited for the first time in years.
I just realized we have 2 Commanders fans in here, so I'm actually curious
too. Yes, sir. It's very exciting. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm tempering myself with the excitement. It's so easy. It's so easy to be excited by him. I keep worrying that he can go the RG3 path, which it seems that but it seems like everything's sunshine and rainbows out of camp and reporting right now. And I'm worried about the RG3 possibility that doesn't seem like people want to talk about.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is true. Last time the Commanders got Heisman Trophy winning quarterback
at number 2.
At number 2 was RG3. I'll say this: as long as the training staff can keep him healthy, we might be in the clear. Because I'm still holding out. Because that RG3 year was insane. I remember that year and how ridiculous it was. How the Redskins that year were just so good. But I'm holding out yet because I remember what happened at the end of the year. So, I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens.
He seems to be better at avoiding big hits, which is nice.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all happens against NFL defenders.
Yeah, that's always the big question. I'll go ahead and give you what's on my mind, and this will actually segue us into our first major topic, and that is that we've been spending so much time gushing over Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. We've kind of forgotten the other rookies from this year's draft, and unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing one of them because Cameron Brink tore her ACL a couple nights ago. He's out for the season, and that is devastating for the Los Angeles Sparks. You got to feel for them. People weren't talking about Brink as much. They were mostly focused on Clark and Reese, but Brink was putting up really solid numbers. I even saw someone on TikTok today say, and I don't know if this is offensive or not, but I'm still going to say it and see what happens. Someone was calling her Milk Chamberlain. I was like, wait a minute. Is that appropriate?
That's crazy work.
That's crazy. No, Milk Chamberlain was Cameron Brink. All due respect, I actually am really hoping that she gets better because Cameron Brink was putting together a solid highlight reel her first year, and it's true. Like the WNBA doesn't have a lot of super tall, freakishly tall athletes like that. I mean, they've got like Brittany Griner, and I think Candace Parker was also up there, but they don't really have a lot of like freakishly tall, like what Cameron Brink brought to the table. There's also the fact that she was an extremely marketable star to begin with because Cameron Brink, she's going to LA, coming out of Stanford, so she's staying in California. National champion in Stanford. We tend to forget that. It was the COVID year, but it still counts. She was a defensive monster, also really solid offensive player, and immediately had, become a centerpiece for the Sparks. And the Sparks still have some good pieces, and I don't think they're, doomed as, oh my God, a wild gnome appeared. What is this? Have I summoned a wild gnome?
I heard Yoni was here. I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck did he get on this podcast? This is impossible. It's an outrage. This is the greatest of... What's up, 40?
What, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the show, Gnome. It's been a while. No, of course, you've been dealing with some work, but we're glad you're here. So,
Yeah, happy to be here. Unhappy that Yoni's here. He sucks. Who let him on here?
Hey, come on, man. We're all peace and love here. We're just talking about.
I'm not.
Oh. I'll switch topics real quick to give Gnome something to be happy about. The Ravens have new helmets.
They do?
Yeah, the Ravens have new helmets.
I saw that.
They're alternate helmets. I'm curious what you guys think about them. Let me see if I can pull them up. So it's only an alternate helmet. They're only going to wear it with their all purple color rushes. But let me share my screen.
Appreciate you, Ashleen.
Are you sure you? No, I'm very curious to see what you think about this. Ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. Ba-boom. What do we think?
That looks really bad.
Yeah.
That looks horrible.
That's not it.
No, that looks absolutely terrible.
I mean,
wow. That's horrible. That's violently bad.
What game are they wearing them for?
It's just one game, right? It's not their new helmets.
it's just going to be for the. It's just going to be for like the color rush games that they wear. They're all purple.
All one of them.
Yeah, one of them. So that's the good news. I personally, I agree with you guys. I think they're pretty bad, but also I can kind of see the appeal. Then again, it's weird. Every team in the NFL, it feels like, has been trying to adopt like these random new uniforms, not new uniforms, helmets to go with their uniforms. Like now that they've lifted the rules on helmets, and some are cool. I think all the throwback ones are really, really cool. But some of these just random alternate helmets they're designing, like what we just saw with the Ravens, it doesn't make sense. It does. It's just not good at all.
So what was the event that required Yoni's presence?
The NBA Finals.
Yeah.
The NBA Finals. Yeah. We're actually going to get into that in just a bit, but I did want to do some house cleaning, go over some other stuff going on in the sports world real quick.
There's so much
Stanley Cup, over in the Stanley Cup, the Florida Panthers had a 3-0 lead, and now we're having Game 6 tonight because Edmonton has won the last two, and it's getting really interesting. Granted, while it's never happened in the NBA Finals, the NHL Finals have had a couple teams come back from 3-0 deficits. It's just not very common, but it has happened. So keep your eyes on the series. I think they got Game 6 tonight. It's going to get a little hectic. If Edmonton can force a Game 7, like y'all gotta watch Game 7. It's must-watch TV because again, I can't remember the last time that a team came back from a 3-0 deficit in a major American sports championship recently.
Connor McDavid's a god.
Yeah, he is. He's already
top 8 points in last two games or some shit.
He's already top 5 all time for most points in a single postseason. All the other spots, by the way, are taken by Wayne Gretzky. So
that's incredible.
It is. Over in the NBA, it's Caitlin Clark getting punched part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Sorry, the WNBA. Caitlin Clark getting punched part 2, Electric Boogaloo. During the second game against the Chicago Sky, Caitlin Clark got punched. Well, hard foul. It was a hard foul from Angel Reese that caused a lot of uproar and continued to expose how the media does not know how to talk about the WNBA at all.
Yeah, it's really funny to me. But I wish it would improve.
Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think about it.
Definitely not intentional.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was
some hard. Yeah, it was a hard, tough play, and it again is getting spun out of control because again, media doesn't really know how to talk about the WNBA, and now it's kind of getting to the point where it's like y'all need to hush because now we have the Cameron Brink news with the torn ACL, and it's like, can we start focusing on the other teams in the league that aren't just the Fever? Shout out to the Fever though; they're in a playoff spot at the moment. They've kind of crawled in the spotlight, but that's what's going on over there. And then over in the MLB, we got a series of injuries. I think we discussed Ronald Acuna being out for the year with a torn ACL or whatever it was in his leg that he tore.
Oh no, he's on that team.
Your team.
I was about to say he's on your adopted team, bro. What do you remember?
Yeah, he's on the Braves.
Yeah.
Well, he will be missed, but I think we'll be fine without him this year. We're doing really well at.
Look at him.
You're talking out of your ass, bro.
schedule.
Scooching off screen so he can check the
Record.
standings. But he's not the only one who's been hurt.
Yeah, 41-31, not bad. Second place in the East. Yeah, I think we'll still make it primed for a deep playoff run.
God.
Why did you guys let this guy
Last time the Braves didn't have Acuna, they won the World Series.
Oh,
So it's happening again this year. I agree with 40. There's no other. I'm sorry. I agree with Coach 40. I forgot this thing now. I agree with Coach 40.
Oh, yeah.
Undoubtedly, it's happening again. There's no other explanation.
Hey, yo, shout out to 40, by the way.
49-25. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, shout out 40, by the way. I know you got a coaching gig with a local high school, so good job, man. Congratulations.
He's
I
coach
appreciate
40
it. Thank
now.
you very much. Thank you.
Oh my God, the Orioles are 48-25.
I don't want to hear about the Orioles because I was going to go into that
that
right now.
agrees, man.
They're playing the Yankees right now. They're actually up.
Ooh, yeah, they're both
There
top
was
of the league.
there was a tense moment in a couple nights ago, the Yankees-Orioles game, where the Orioles kind of beamed Aaron Judge for no apparent reason.
Oh, it's because we don't like him. I can't say we. I'm a British
You
fan.
see, they're
They don't
rival
like him.
teams, so you see their
They don't-
rival
they don't
teams,
like him?
and he's a star player.
Yeah,
I'm just telling y'all need to be watching this Orioles-Yankee series because it has been some of the best baseball all year. Like these two teams, it's going to be these two fighting for the American League. Like I'm sorry to like the other top teams, but these two have been going at it. And last night's like extra inning thriller is gonna, even though it didn't go the Yankees' way, boo. It's definitely up there. Another injury we got: Mookie Betts broke his hand after getting hit by a pitch.
yeah, you hate to see that happen, man.
That one was bad.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are so loaded, though. I don't think it'll affect them. But I'll turn the question to you guys: is this going to affect the Dodgers at all, or are we in the clear because it's the Dodgers?
I think the real question is how will this affect LeBron's legacy? The Dodgers are definitely
The
probably not in the
Dodgers-
clear.
That was
Dodgers
some
have
definitely ESPN
enough
shit
players
right there,
that
man.
they're
That's
fine,
true.
bro.
That was.
That was
I know you
professional
missed me,
ESPN
Coach 40.
shit.
That was.
That's your audition for ESPN.
Stephen A.
just got
Smith
the-
is going to all of a sudden call into the show and be like, "I want him on my program tomorrow morning."
No,
And I want him
seriously,
to
they
just
would have
play
loved
that.
that. That was great right there. That was ESPN worthy for sure.
Right?
Right.
Right?
That
I'm
was-
practicing. I've been working on my craft off screen to like talk about nothing, but really make it seem like I'm going somewhere with it.
Why did
Literally,
they do
that's
that,
all-
bro? Like literally, there was an NBA Finals game the other day, and I turned on SportsCenter, and literally, the first thing I see on SportsCenter is them talking about LeBron. And I said, "Bro, there's a whole NBA Finals game today." Why are
But
we
40,
talking
how
about
will the finals plays out affect LeBron's legacy?
I don't know. Somehow the Cowboys they had like they somehow they compared Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and somebody to the Dallas Mavericks. Somehow
They're
Cowboys.
so bored.
Yeah,
They're
like-
so bored up there. They're
Yeah.
so bored on their little ivory tower in ESPN land. They're actually just bored as fuck. They have nothing to talk about. That's
Mhm.
crazy. There's
Right.
Well, that's
finals going on. They have nothing to talk about.
That's the
Yeah.
difference between us and ESPN is that we're actually going to talk about the finals.
Actually,
not
the
talk
only
about how
difference
they
is we're the
impact
only
LeBron's
ones
legacy
cursed to have
because-
Yoni on our show.
We're actually going to talk about the finals and not how they impact LeBron's legacy because I guess Kyrie used to play with him or something. I don't know. The NBA finals are over. They went by very quickly.
Yeah, they were here.
Remember rock and didn't see what happened or tuned out the
Yeah.
NBA this year and weren't watching. The Boston Celtics demolished the Dallas Mavericks with the exception of one game where they had one of the most lopsided losses in the history of the finals, which, okay, that showed the Mavericks could have done it. Outside of that one game and a pretty nail-biting game 3, the Mavericks were completely obliterated. It wasn't even close. This is coming after everybody predicted that it was going to go to a 7-game series. Dallas got the shit stomped out of them. Boston wins. Jaylen Brown is Finals MVP. Thank God it wasn't Jason Tatum. No offense to Tatum. It's just Jaylen Brown.
What's your beef with Jason Tatum?
People are
great, man.
I didn't
the
ask
general
you.
consensus.
I'll be honest. I love Tatum, but I think Brown has proven that he's the better player on that team.
I would agree.
I think my beef with Tatum is
It's
more just the
tough.
beef in that he's the only Celtics player that ESPN knows exists. That's
That's
probably
true.
what it
It's
is.
That is
Mhm.
true.
My beef is how the media covers Tatum. The media wants Tatum to be an MVP candidate, to be a face of the league, but he is
Yeah.
unbelievably corny. And And Jaylen Brown's the closer.
Yeah. Did y'all see how
Tatum's the all-around superstar? Probably better player. If everyone was a free agent, they want Tatum, but over Brown. But Brown's the closer. Brown's the leader.
Tatum is the LeBron James of Michael Beasley's.
I see your point.
That kind of makes sense.
He's the LeBron James of Michael Beasley's. Best
version of Michael Beasley.
Look, because there was a point in time where they were pushing this narrative that Michael Beasley was on the same level as LeBron, and this was the LeBron. There was a point in time where I saw a lot of sports media pushing that. Oh, this guy is going to be as great as LeBron.
Beasley was the 2 pick. Yeah. He was the 2 pick against Derrick Rose, and people thought Beasley. There are people who picked Beasley over Rose.
How did I forget this dude existed? Oh my god! I
have no idea.
But also Beasley. Don't forget Beasley was on the Heatles, and he and LeBron were playing one-on-one after practice.
Yeah.
The media caught some of that crap, and Beasley was holding his own.
How old is one-on-one game?
Beasley
affecting LeBron's legacy
a couple times. Supposedly he was going to be
well, I mean, he is currently carving out a legacy as a Chinese Basketball Association Hall of Famer.
Classic.
Yeah.
Well, so basically he's better than LeBron.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, he's like the LeBron.
Well, if you think about it.
He's not the Chinese LeBron.
No, but Jimmer.
So
has
he's
a
the
legacy
second greatest player of all time over there. Sorry, that was rage bait.
That was rage.
Playing coach.
We don't subscribe to rage bait on this podcast, no. Even if it's hilarious and really good.
There is some very good rage bait. No, Jaylen Brown was the best player in the finals for the Celtics across the board. He did a very good job defending Luka. He bothered Luka a lot. Drew Holiday was a strong candidate as well, but the last 2 games, he faded.
Yeah, he was Drew Holiday. He's hot and he's cold.
Yeah, but he's a champ now, and the Bucks. Why do you pick Damian Lillard over Drew Holiday? Dame's a bucket getter. Drew's the guy you want on your championship team.
I just want to quickly go through some of the guys who got a ring out of this, because one of my favorite parts of every championship season is to look at the dudes who got rings and realize oh shit, he has a ring now.
Yes, sir.
First off, I want to say congratulations to Boston, though. I mean, Boston, their 18th championship, which puts them ahead of the Lakers now for the most all time in the NBA.
Unless you count the in-season tournament.
No, we're not counting the in-season tournament. All it does is just inflate LeBron's legacy.
I'm just creative. That was my rage bait.
We can't help ourselves.
I will say the in-season tournament was a lot more fun than the NBA Finals. I will say it is so nice when all the young stars in the league aren't getting hurt when they play Boston. So I think that's the big thing that everybody had a problem with, because the general discourse has been that this final sucked ass, which, it wasn't great. There was only one really interesting game. That was game 3 when Dallas came back from a 16-point deficit. But outside of that, it was mostly one-sided. I think we were just disappointed that Dallas didn't do better after all the hype surrounding Luka and Kyrie. But and also the fact that, all of the bright young stars that had to go up against Boston in the playoffs, they all conveniently got hurt, allowing Boston to kind of cruise to the finals. But in a way, I also say, this Boston team was the best team in the league all season long.
Mm-hmm.
They had their fair share of injuries, and they still came out on top. And it's you got to give them credit, because down the line, the history books are looking back on the Celtics team, and they'll probably mention it's their road was a little easy to get to the postseason, but they still won 64 games and were probably going down in the upper echelon of NBA teams all time. Maybe not.
They're a unique team. They're a unique team, man. The big thing that separates them from a lot of champions is that historically, when you have the champ, when you're the best, when you win, usually you have somebody who's because they won the chip, they're now in the conversation for best player in the league right now.
Yeah.
If you think about it, our recent champions, it's LeBron, it's Steph, it's KD.
Giannis.
This is the first one since Giannis, Jokic. This is the first one since maybe Dirk, or maybe even Chauncey Billups, if you the 04 Piston or 2011 Mav. This is a real historical oddity. They just have a really solid top six people.
Yeah.
They don't have
Yeah,
that top 5 guy.
Okay, I guess you accidentally made a good point there. They do
Wow.
actually have, they don't have a top 5 NBA player on their team necessarily, but they have like, I don't know, 3 of the top 30 right there, like 3 of the top 25. Like,
I actually agree with Yoni's point about like I'd say the 04 Pistons, because even
that was a
because
great
when
time. That was a great
because
time,
Dirk's even though Dirk's Mavericks like were a collection of random dudes, many of whom were past their prime and they probably had no business winning a championship, Dirk was still like arguably like top 2 big men in the league at that point, because
Yeah, it was him and
Shaq
Duncan.
had just retired.
Duncan.
Duncan.
Other than Tim Duncan, I mean, it was Duncan and Dirk as the 2
Yeah,
big.
Shaq was passed.
I mean,
at that
even
point.
the 2011 Mavericks, you could argue it's like, well, it is Dirk. So, but yeah, 2004 Pistons.
Even KG was past it by that point.
Yeah, like 2004 Pistons, I think really that's a good thing. Looking at this team though, I do want to point out some of the guys who have won rings now. So, give it up for Al Horford finally getting a ring after
Wait, let's go. Al Horford. Oh, yeah.
17 seasons in, and he actually was the active player with the most games without a ring. Now that
Horford is excellent.
Now that dubious honorable James Harden for the guy with the most games without a ring among active players.
Gotta be Chris Paul. Gotta be Chris Paul.
It's Harden. Chris Paul's right behind him.
Yeah.
It's Harden, though, in the lead.
Well, hopefully Chris Paul eventually does get one, and Harden
shout out to
that L-shaped beard.
Shout out to Drew Holiday. Shout out to Drew Holiday for getting his second ring. He's got 2 now. Good for him. Shout out to Derek White for finally getting a ring after struggling with those kind of on the downturn Spurs.
Is that the forehead guy?
Yes, that is forehead.
Okay.
Yep. Oh boy. Shout out to Knicks and Bulls legend Luke Cornett, who has a ring now.
Whoa, Luke Cornett.
You don't know who that is.
Not even slightly.
Cornett.
Whoa, that's
center who doesn't. The backup center who didn't even really. I mean, he only got minutes in the finals because Porzingis missed time. Shout out to Porzingis.
Porzingis has a ring. That was his game 1 performance. I think was the best part of the finals for me. Like that game 1 performance. If he had stayed healthy, man, and kept that up. I mean, can you imagine it? Kristaps Porzingis, Finals MVP.
Ew.
The 7-3
freak in your heart. You know that's wrong.
Shout out to Peyton Pritchard, multiple full court buzzer beaters in the finals.
Multiple? Wait, he got multiple?
He had 3.
He had like 2.
Yeah.
I think he had like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Shout out to him getting a ring.
He also totally traveled on that, but besides it.
And Slava Ukraine. Shout out to, I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to try my best. Shout out to Sviatoslav Yuriyovich Mikhailuk from Ukraine, who has a ring.
Cancel him.
Person, former Los Angeles Laker. Shout out to Sam Hauser.
Yes,
sir. Got a ring. Sam Hauser.
He has a good 3-point percentage. He has a good 3-point percentage. One of the only people on the bench that they actually use.
Coach 40, who is your friend right there by your side? Who is that?
This right here?
Yeah.
It's my daughter's teddy bear.
I assume so. Y'all gonna introduce us all?
I got a
different name for the bear every fucking day, so I couldn't.
What is it today?
There is a highlight. One highlight from the finals was Joe Mazzulla's press conferences. If you watch these press conferences,
I did not. Enlighten me.
Joe Mazzulla talks about his Christian faith and his post game stuff.
Okay.
He makes it a huge part of who he is.
Okay.
He doesn't want to go to Disney. He wants to go from Jericho to Jerusalem. He said.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
I'm not going to judge him for having those beliefs, but I will say, bro, that's kind of corny, bro.
People asked him about how he felt about he versus Jason Kidd in the head coach matchup. They're the 3rd time that 2 black head coaches play. And his response was, "How many of them were Christian?" Like this man just made it.
See, I'm not opposed to people being strong in their
And
faith.
there's nothing wrong with him doing that.
But at some point, one has to. But I can see how that can. The media can probably think.
There's nothing wrong with it, but we can point out that it's hilarious.
Yeah, I just thought it's funny. He responds to that with that, and then no one responds. It's like an awkward 10-second pause before they ask the next question.
The media doesn't know how to deal
Are we
with.
supposed to laugh? Like,
Right?
Doesn't know how to deal with guys like that.
They had the championship shirts and stuff, and before he put on a championship shirt, he put on something like, "But first, let me thank God" or something on this shirt or something. Joe Mazzulla. I don't have any problem with the religion thing, but I thought it was a hilarious side plot, and I followed it. It was funny.
You know what? The funny thing is, like, the funniest thing for these finals to me was Jason Tatum after winning it all. Did you see him when he attempted to create two iconic finals moments and failed miserably at both?
Oh yeah, he tried to be Kobe.
Yeah, he tried to be Kobe with the trophy, and that pissed me off. It's like, you don't do that, bro. Come on, don't do that. But the other one that was funny is that he tried to be KG. Remember how KG after the 08 Celtics won the finals, anything is possible, yeah. Yeah, he tried that, but instead he just said, "Oh my God, we did it!" Like, you can't make that sound cool. KG's was cool because the Celtics hadn't won a title since the 80s. You can't try and recreate it.
Well,
Same with the
that was
Kobe
cool because they haven't won a title since KG.
Let's talk about the biggest. Let's talk about the biggest thing here from this finals.
What's that?
Luka is a great loser. Luka is a great loser, and I'm tired of saying that he is the best player in the league. He's a great fucking loser.
Wait. Elaborate.
Great loser.
I missed you so much, Forty. I missed you so much, bro.
Man, listen.
It's so chaotic.
No, they've been saying this guy was the best player in the league since literally year 2 of this guy being in the league. He hasn't won an MVP yet.
Yeah.
He has now 2 Western Conference Finals. He has a NBA Finals loss. What accolades does he have to prove that he is the best player? And he's a great loser. He's a great fucking loser. He'll give you 40 points a night and still lose. He's a great loser.
That's a fair point. Honestly, I don't know.
It's honestly a really good point.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I can argue it, but it's not a bad case.
I understand they say he doesn't have a big man. He doesn't this, he doesn't that.
Disagree with that narrative, though.
It brings me back, and I hate to bring it. I hate to bring him up. Here we
go. Here it is.
Back.
You don't really regret this at all.
It brings me back to this is why the man is the greatest player to ever play the game. Still in year 22, they make.
Oh my God!
I knew it.
Year 22, they make excuses.
Who's trying out for ESPN now,
year
bro?
8 or 9 for Luka. Year 7, 8, whatever it is for Luka. And here we are. Oh, he doesn't have a big man. He doesn't have this. When are we going to put the blame on Luka? Look, Jokic and them, everybody was saying at the beginning of the year, oh, they're going back to back. They're going back to back. They're going back to back. Jokic and them lost. I didn't hear a word about this man losing after that. Where was all the same hatred and all the same, like, the narratives of the best player in the world can't do it and this, that, and the third? Where are all those narratives when it comes to these guys?
Facts.
You know how many
these
people
guys are in year 9 and 10. We didn't even know about Jokic until he was in year 8. I didn't even know who Jokic was until 3 years ago. Literally.
I had heard his name. I heard his name.
Jokic has 3 MVPs, bro. Like, this is top 20 player of all time.
Oh, no, he's not.
No, but like the other people who do
Jokic
this, who have 3 MVPs, have like multiple rings and crap, and to 40
So
points.
look, when Jokic made his name, he made his name very big. He won 3 straight, damn near 3 straight MVPs. I'll give it to him. But Luka made his name, and he hasn't done shit since. He's a great fucking loser.
Yeah, but basketball is, well, I mean, is it a team sport? You
know
what? I'm not going to lie. I agree with 40. I
wouldn't really say that, though, because look, you can say in 2017 and 2018, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant single-handedly beat the shit out of the Cavaliers. In 2016, Steph Curry told you himself in an interview he's never seen 2 guys lock in for 3 games straight the way that LeBron and Kyrie did. So I won't even really say it's a team sport. If you have 2 the guys that are really locked in, they can win.
LeBron has dragged so many teams to the finals by himself, being the only guy.
Big facts.
But to be fair, though, he is LeBron. Like, this is not your average fucking NBA player. It's literally the greatest.
Going back to the Luka thing for a moment, man. But let's also not forget, Jalen Brunson left him and became an MVP candidate. He had Kristaps Porzingis, a good big there. He leaves in Boston and with the Wizards. He's a good piece.
And
he's a good
like
piece.
Isaac said, he probably wins Finals MVP. Has he not re-injured himself in that game?
He had a real chance. He had a real chance to do it.
For sure.
And with Luka, they keep talking they can't get along. He won't touch the ball. Luka's a bit of a dribbler, kind of in the same vein as Harden.
Oh damn! That all right.
I don't
know about that.
I think Luka.
That's a lot of Luka slander. That's a lot of.
I think Luka
40s, but
no, I think Luka is better version of Harden. That's where I got him right now.
You doubled down.
Luka's better Harden, man.
Oh my god, I zoned out for a second and that got brought back in by that. Holy crap! Okay, that's a take. Oh,
hi Milani.
Happy late birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, it was her birthday?
It was Tuesday. That's why we're doing the show Thursday.
Happy birthday late, Milani.
She would say thank you, but she's too distracted.
You're very welcome.
Say thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Distracted.
She was just vomiting on Yoni's take there.
It was
Harden.
We can talk about that.
Listen, Yoni, listen. I kind of see what you're trying to say. I just listen. Okay, Luka Doncic is getting up there, but like James Harden's like up there. He's not at the top, obviously, with the lack of rings and the whole jumping around between team to team. But like James Harden has had almost a decade and a half to establish himself as one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history, and a
great loser as in
40s.
But I see your point. He is a great loser. He is a great loser, though.
An amazing hunter. He's really good.
He's the top great loser.
Pals.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's him, and then it's Luka. James Harden is the greatest loser of them all.
This brings me actually a point. Yeah. What are some other great losers in NBA and the guys sports history? And I'm ready. I'm going to present you with a couple of them real quick. Number one, Charles Barkley.
Yes,
that's the obvious one.
Yeah, that's the obvious one. Charles Barkley never won a ring, despite being with multiple chances.
Let's see, Kevin Hart.
Karl Malone, 3 finals appearances.
And John Stockton.
And
John Stockton gets to be a loser because some of his he's got
Tony Allen.
Yeah. Stockton's a nice guy and stayed with one team and didn't do what
Al
Karl
Hamilton.
Other
Are you
nice
just listing
losers.
Ravens players now, Leo?
Well,
Al Hamilton.
There's a lot of great losers who, we could talk.
Tony Allen.
Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller's a great one. That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
Alex English. Drag it back to the 70s.
English.
Alex English single-handedly carried the Nuggets to multiple deep playoff runs in the 80s and didn't get a single ring.
Oh, what about Carlos Boozer?
Carlos Boozer?
Was he high profile enough? You're picking role players, bro. Also, I think Tony Allen has a ring.
Amari Stoudemire.
Oh, and Steve Nash.
Before Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan was a great loser too. LeBron was never a great loser.
AI.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash is not a great loser. He's an okay player. That
Steve Nash is one of the greatest Canadian exports since.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He did.
He got 2 MVPs though, doesn't he?
Yeah, they were stolen.
Nash
he got them because he's white.
He's
mildly exciting
Shaq and Kobe, who have won in the same era.
That's why he has those MVPs. Yeah, that's the insane part. That's the insane part. Steve Nash better than Kobe or Shaq?
No.
Then
or young LeBron even. Young LeBron actually had a better case too, if you think.
All right, y'all ready for a hot one? Ready? I don't know if anyone said this. So I'm gonna say it. Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Listen, and that's tough because AI is insane, but
also, AI changed the game though.
He did, and actually, you know what?
And he won game 1. He took one game off Shaq and Kobe by himself, bro.
Yeah,
Who did?
and I'll give him credit. He only made one appearance
AI.
in finals, so it's kind of hard for me to say that because he didn't get a lot of chances.
There was a lot of kids growing up that wanted to be like Allen Iverson.
That's true.
Carmelo Anthony.
Didn't matter what race they were. A lot of kids
Tracy
had Allen
McGrady.
Iverson jerseys.
That's a good one.
Tracy
That's
McGrady.
a very good one.
Final answer.
Tracy
I like
McGrady.
Tracy.
Oh,
I
I
like
like
Tracy
that
too.
too. I was gonna say Penny Hardaway, but he had too many injuries.
Mm-hmm.
He
Not
was
a
a
real
great.
shot.
He wasn't a great loser. He was a great. Damn.
he was a great.
Uh,
He was a great piece of what's the word? He was a great role player,
Co-star.
co-star. Yeah.
Tracy McGrady is
Hospital
a great one,
guest.
Yeah. Carmelo Anthony.
though. Oh man,
I already said
that
Melo.
was-
Oh,
I said Melo.
Melo is
Don't
a
miss me
great
say Melo.
goddamn-
Don't give him credit.
Melo's my favorite
Bro.
loser, though. I'll say that. Melo's my
Yeah.
favorite goddamn loser.
yeah.
Yeah. Love
Yeah,
that.
Melo's had an interesting career.
have we said Chris Paul yet?
Chris Paul's not a great loser.
He's
a future. He's a good
Yet.
future winner.
He's not yet, man. He's not.
Keep
He's,
telling yourself
he's not.
that.
He's not
He's
done
He's
yet, man.
a good future winner.
I will.
I'm a
I really
Warriors.
want
They
Chris
don't have
Paul
a
to retire
chance.
for
They're
being so
dead.
damn bad.
No, they're coming back. They're coming back.
He's gonna leave,
Doesn't
bro.
matter.
He could be.
It doesn't
he could be a
matter
free
if the
agent.
finals just ended. They'll still win. Don't care.
Paul George.
Paul George is
Oh.
about. Paul George is about to be a free agent. He could go to Philly, bro.
Oh no, and do what?
Uh,
Not get along with Joel
I-
Embiid?
Hey, we've
Tyrese.
seen
I
some
forgot what
Tyrese
Well,
PG,
Embiid. He's a great goddamn loser.
Tyrese PG and Embiid would be
You
a
know,
nice big three,
I
bro.
just remembered what network we're on.
Hey, Kylie's not here, so we can say what we want. And
Um,
also, the guys that fired up would agree with me if I said that. Probably.
yeah, sorry.
You
Mike.
guys agree, right? Yeah.
There are
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, it's
the
me, Mike.
Sixers also have max
Really,
cap
finally.
space. There are a few notable free agents: Braun, Paul George, DeRozan, Clay, Harden, Westbrook.
Well,
You think Braun's gonna have a?
with the
a
signing of
third core in
Redick,
Cleveland?
Braun's going back to LA.
Well, you know,
He's going to Cleveland.
LeBron
He's
is a
going to
free
Cleveland.
agent, but like it's all posturing. He'll
No, he's going to
get a
Cleveland.
bigger deal.
A third stint in Cleveland, bro. I'm telling you. He's
God.
gonna bring
Cleveland
them.
doesn't need him
he's gonna
anymore.
take
Yeah, I forgot he had that front row seat at that playoff game. So he's
Right,
definitely going back to
Right.
Cleveland.
No,
I
to
forgot
me the most interesting one is PG. If I like PG in Philly
County.
or the Knicks, that would be nice too.
Hey,
He'd
I
be a
just
good
got
fit with the
this.
Knicks.
I just got this on Twitter. Someone was asking, here's the real question. Do LeBron and JJ continue the pod or not? And somebody had a Photoshopped
Yes.
episode of the pod. It's called How We Gave Up Our 20-Point Lead versus Denver. LeBron James and JJ Redick on Mind.
Wow.
I love that. But that's why I didn't like the hire, man. Part
It's
of
going
it,
to be so awkward.
not all of it, but part of it.
He's setting himself up for himself to have a.
This
coaching
is a
job.
cushy, this is a no pressure thing for LeBron.
Yeah,
So-
Bron doesn't care about basketball anymore, man.
If
I
he
don't know why-
if he leaves until he leaves the Lakers, he doesn't care about basketball.
That's not true.
No, he's not leaving the Lakers. So this is last year.
But that's the thing. Yeah, this is
He
like
got 5 more.
he has a
5
cushy
more.
retirement gig right now, man. He gets 25 in his sleep.
He has
Yeah.
5 more years. You guys are crazy.
No.
He
This
has
is
it if he
last
wants
year. He
it,
to be a
but I don't know
family.
if he wants it, bro. Like,
He wants to be like he has 5 more years,
Right.
1,000%.
yeah.
But he wants
Does
to
he
be a
want it,
family
though?
man now. He doesn't care about basketball anymore, bro.
Here's my
I wonder
question.
if the Lakers are gonna draft Bronny for him.
1 second.
Here's
That'd
my
be funny.
question. Here's my question. If this is LeBron's last year and he's gone after this, who is the new face of the league? Who is the new it guy in the league? There always has to be that one dude.
Obviously, Luca has to be.
No.
Excluding Luca. Be reasonable here.
They're gonna
Yes, 1 second. I'm gonna get
they're gonna the league is gonna try really friggin' hard to make it Ant.
They're gonna try to make it Ant and probably
Wemby.
Wemby as well. But
Wemby.
if you want me to be honest, fuck all that. Everybody can hate the take and they can hate what I'm saying. Ja Morant is still gonna be the face of the league.
Oh, what?
Wait, what?
Everybody forgot about my boy. Watch, he's gonna
2
come
years
back
ago,
and
bro.
show
Has heart
something
palpitations.
crazy.
Oh God.
This is
He is
2
going to
years
show
too
something
late, man.
crazy this year. Everybody forgot about my boy.
Yeah, you're right.
Had a-
I did. What a
He's
weird
had a
take.
whole off season to work by himself.
He's gonna come
when
back
you have
watch,
a whole
bro.
off season to lock in on your own, away from everybody else.
He's gonna be washed.
Or actually, I like Noam's take that they fully embrace Wemby. I like that.
It's gonna be
one
Wemby.
too.
It's definitely gonna be Wemby.
Like Wemby, this was probably the worst version of Wemby that it will ever be in the NBA.
Yeah, he's only gonna get better.
He won Rookie of the Year and was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. He's already a better version of Rudy Gobert.
Way better.
And he is only going to get better.
Wait, did we say Anthony Edwards?
We're on a Cleveland. Come on.
Ant is an option. The other option is Wemby. And yeah, those are the two.
I'd go with Ant just because they'll go with Wemby. They'll probably go with Wemby because he's playing in San Antonio. And San Antonio is like a major NBA market. Ant being in Minnesota automatically puts him at a disadvantage because it's the Timberwolves. You know, over the course of their history, all they've done is kickstart KG's career, have this one crazy year with Ant, and play second fiddle to the WNBA team in their own city. Shout out to the Lynx dynasty. I can't believe it ended the way it did.
Shout out to Jimmy Butler taking their second unit to beat the ass of the first unit and then wanting out. And Jimmy Butler's 1 year in Minnesota. Jimmy Butler's Minnesota year was legendary, bro.
I forgot about that.
But you saw how hard the NBA leaned into his Ant MJ thing during the playoffs.
Oh my god.
They tried that so friggin' hard.
Am I MJ? Like,
they tried really hard to
speculate all we want, but also leave the kid alone. He's totally MJ's son. Leave him alone, man. There's no reason.
Don't play into this, Isaac.
Fellas,
I want to.
Off topic, fellas, but don't have kids for a very long time. You see this?
He's so cute. What's up, Alani?
Yeah, it's cute.
Speaking of which, I unfortunately am going to be back on the clock soon. I do have to run.
Gotcha.
I will see you guys later. It's been nice joining in. I'm sorry that you had to rage me back onto it just by bringing Yoni's dumb face on here, but
yeah, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, I'll be back next week. I'll be back for sure. I'll see you soon.
All right.
40.
All right.
We'll see you next week. No.
I'm gonna once I get the schedule too, I'm gonna shoot you over the schedule for the high school this year.
I'll be there. I'll be at some games.
Oh yeah.
Wearing a Coach 40 jersey.
Coach 40 jerseys. Where do we get Coach 40 jerseys?
Hey, shout out to Noam for getting back on the pod. Oh my.
Yeah.
While Calvin answers that pressing question from his daughter, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's way too early, but I want to ask. Looking ahead to next season, what are our early predictions for the 2024-25 NBA season? What are
Lakers championship. You don't even have that.
That's realistic.
Bro, we just said that we just admitted that they were a clown circus at the beginning.
Nah, I just joking.
No, it's interesting. Most of Boston's core is running it back. They'll be working on extensions for Tatum and I think Derek White. The Nuggets, KCP is a free agent, and they should probably work to get KCP back, but KCP is going to have a good market. The real question, I think if Paul George goes east, then whoever he joins would automatically become a contender. But it feels like it's Boston and Denver and everyone else, barring major moves.
So with Boston, I don't know. We haven't seen a person even go back to back-to-back finals in
6 years in a row. Yeah, KD and Steph were the last.
Yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to count Boston out. I don't think we have a repeat person in the finals again. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Dallas goes to get a big man this offseason, and Luka proves me wrong, and he's not going to be a loser anymore, and he goes and gets his first win. His first championship. Him and Kyrie get this thing together and go get their first championship.
Kyrie shrunk in a big way in the playoffs.
For sure.
I'm not sure how much we can expect out of him going forward. Another thought that's crossed my mind is the Thunder.
Oh yeah, great call, Yoni. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Thunder can make it to the conference finals or finals next season.
I would not be.
And
That team is so good. There's
The
still
thing
so
about that
many young
Thunder team
pieces.
is-
They're gonna SGA and Jalen Williams are great combo.
My early prediction is going to be, I think that a lot of the young teams we saw kind of break out this year are going to become the new face of the league. I feel like this whole season was kind of
It was a transition year. Yeah.
a big transition year. You know, we're starting to see the emergence of some new like powerhouse players and teams. I'm actually excited. And this is coming from a guy who hasn't been paying that much attention to the NBA in a while, but I'm actually excited for what's coming this year. I think that the West is going to be stacked. I think we're starting to see the emergence of really fun teams in the East. I'm mainly looking at Indiana, seeing what they can do.
They just gave Siakam huge money to come back.
Yeah. My early predictions, give me for the finals, give me if no one chants we want Boston in their arena in the playoffs, Boston won't get another one. But so we're all clear, like nobody chant that. Like, come on, guys. I think that we're going to see Indiana return to the finals. I think Tyrese Halliburton and then I do like 40's prediction of John Morant becoming the new face of the league. But I think it's going to be return to form for Denver next year. I could see Denver and Indiana going at it, which would be a lot of fun.
Hey, brother, off topic real quick, but the Yankees fucking suck, dude.
I turned the game off. Luis, it's the worst start to a game. Like, why do we play like this against?
Let's go. Oh.
Okay, and
That's crazy. I went to go look at the scores just to go look at the update, and I see 7-1, and I'm like, bro, it was just 1-0.
breaking news: the Yankees are getting their butts kicked. That's actually a great place to segue into a stoppage. So we've been on the air for almost an hour, but man, why do you got to remind me about that? Anyway, thank you, Yoni, for joining the show today for the enlightening conversation we had about the NBA. We're looking forward to the off season. Definitely, we'll be talking about free agency when that comes up. So you are always welcome to come back on if we have a free agency discussion. So that's definitely going to be something in the future.
I can't wait for the free agency flurry.
The
big name to watch for me is Paul George. I think he's leaving the Clippers.
About time. That's all I'm going to say. With that being said, anything to add? Or are we good?
I hope he's a Sixer. We'll see how it goes.
I'm getting flamed by multiple people about the Yankees. By the way, I just got a text from somebody about the Yankees. So,
watch PG and free agency.
With that being said, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Beer Batter Sports Podcast. This show, as always, is a proud affiliate of the Fired Up Sports Network up in Philadelphia. Go check out all their other shows, including our friends over at Bell Smashers. Hi, Kylie. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms at bbsports_pod and check our Twitter bio for merch. That being said, we will see you guys next week for another exciting episode. Hopefully, we can talk about the NHL finals and get set for more NFL offseason stuff, because now the focus is definitely going to be on football. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. Thank you to Yoni for joining. Peace.